Southwest has been our partner for at least the last 10 years, creating awareness in the community, supporting the Tom Joyner Morning Show, and in general, helping everyone be as fly as me. Raquel Daniels, Senior Account Director for Camelot Communications, the media agency for Southwest Airlines, has worked with us from the very beginning, and together, we found relevant ways to help Southwest be more relevant in the African American community. Thank you, Southwest. Thank you for being jokey.
When Camelot Communications and Southwest Airlines began to make a decision and think about how they could truly impact or form a relationship with the African American audience, one of the first persons that came to mind was Tom Joyner. And the reason for that is because the breadth of the audience that Tom Joyner reaches and his involvement both from a community standpoint but also from a media personality was that this would offer us a good opportunity to create that relationship or to bring our brand into awareness with the African American audience. The specific points that Camelot Communications felt that would be important for our client, Southwest Airlines, and Tom Joyner in working together would be, number one, the African American audience is a huge audience and most important, and it was important to us to speak to that audience in a culturally relevant environment and meeting them where they are. One of the things that's sometimes left unsaid is that though African Americans, unlike the Hispanic population, don't have a language, or we don't have to overcome speaking or considering the language barrier, but we still have to speak to a customer base in a manner that they like to be spoken to. So Tom Joyner is a culturally relevant environment, and that would allow our brand to meet the customer where they were. Secondly, to engage them in a format that was fun and entertaining in a way that they had already established was important to them. Thirdly, to make Southwest Airlines top of mind with that consumer. I think the special value that radio brings to the partnership, first of all, we cannot ignore the fact of the huge impact or the huge volume that Tom Joyner has just in the space. So I think as a personality, with the relationship that he has with his customers, number one, is huge. Secondly, the wonderful thing about radio is that everyone feels that every DJ, every radio station is their radio station. So you have a hometown, a direct connection, a relationship with that radio station, and there's no one else or no other station that you would go to get your information. So you must think of it as an appointment listening is how we like to term it, that the listener in the car or at home has an appointment at a special time every day. And that responsiveness, that connection, that relationship is something that any sponsor would love to have. And I think those three criteria also allow you to develop a relationship with the customer as well. Because you know those things, you're able to target a little bit better, you're able to take the message directly to them, and you're able to have that dialogue every day, hopefully at the same time. And also create a long-standing relationship to get that brand equity that you so desire. So that allows some of the attractiveness of radio. Also, you're able to do quick, fast things on radio that you would never have the opportunity to do in a broadcast more long-term format. I think neither print. The only other thing that would probably be is quick to radio, and Tom has that covered too now, is Black America Web or doing things on the internet. So responsiveness originally with the radio was one of the things that's a huge hit. And as I said before, the national, but also that community feel and the feel that a customer has of that being their station, their network, their DJ. We were involved with the Tom Joyner Fantastic Voyage. We were involved with Tom Joyner Family Reunion in Florida. We've also done fun things through Black America Web, from promotions that have allowed the customer to actually go see and do, if you will, that, you'll hear Tom talk about family reunion online. And of course, neither Tom nor Southwest Airlines want you to miss out on a fun event. So you'll hear about that opportunity online, on the radio, be able to go online and enter to win, and then actually come to the Tom Joyner Family Reunion and play the Southwest Airlines Tom Joyner Family Feud contest. So those are just a few wonderful ways that we are able to engage the customer, because after all, the goal for all of us in improving our business and making smart business decisions is that it's not just about having fun, but we want to create an environment where we can continue to put butts in seats, which in the end is a benefit to our revenue, ultimately is a benefit to the revenue of Tom Joyner. So, when we form a relationship, there are several key factors that we consider when joining into a relationship with a property. And my definition of property would be a media outlet, an event, anything that we do with anyone from the standpoint of Camelot Communications and Southwest Airlines. We look for certain factors, and those would be positive environment, an environment that is culturally relevant to the consumer that we are targeting. And the definition of culturally relevant is it speaks to the passion point that is most important to that consumer. And by passion point, specifically speaking to the African American consumer, there's music that is a passion point. There's education that's a passion point. There's family that's a passion point. And recognizing all of those and speaking to that customer through a vehicle that they most like to be spoken to, but also about things that are important to them, is hugely important to Southwest Airlines. But one of the great things and what also allowed our relationship with Tom Joyner to be as impactful to this consumer audience as it was because Tom, the same things that are important to the consumer, important to Southwest Airlines, are important to Tom Joyner. Education is important to him. Music is important. He parties with the purpose. And he also does huge things to show the consumer that family is important to him as well. So recognizing what's important to the consumer, Tom Joyner offers that direct connection. He also shows that that's important to him. So our partnership with him was probably a no-brainer at the time. We were doing integration and cross-platform before cross-platform was cool. We've always thought that you just don't want to be on radio or be in that space, but you also want to take it to the street and tear it down. If you envision it as a funnel, the big funnel is the national and local footprint that Tom Joyner has, but to actually go and be able to engage with the customer, you can only do that through an event, which Tom has the cruise. We've been involved with the Tom Joyner Fantastic Voyage. We've been involved with the family reunion. You also see it in print. We've been able to do things in print, and we've also been able to do things from a visual standpoint on TV broadcasts. But the great thing is that we are able to take our message from this big universe of radio and constantly layer it through all the other vehicles to make sure that regardless of how a customer engages Tom Joyner, regardless of how a customer engages Southwest Airlines, our message is still being heard, felt, and absorbed by that customer. 10 years ago, the thinking out of the box measure was being in front of the customer in a live format and being able to engage them via a concert vehicle. Now, with the just the expansiveness of the internet and the audience, now we have had to target the audience in many different ways. Black America Web and doing promotions online and being able to reach the audience when they want to access us. I would say we've achieved those goals because we are definitely feel, or from the perspective that we have by what you hear in the industry, or the attitude you may see from a customer, or the things you hear when you're at events, that we've definitely created that relationship and that brand association between Tom Joyner and Southwest Airlines.